There we are. Namaste. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Roundtable Readings. My name is Sadhana. I am an intuitive reader and healer and teacher of all things metaphysical. And this new Saturday morning series, I'm going to be on most Saturdays doing readings with tarot students. And this new Saturday morning series, I'm going to be on.
There's one simple sex mistake you must never.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Two windows open at the same time. So I'm going to be on most Saturdays with tarot students as well as longtime readers who I have met through various workshops and classes, other tarot tubers and so forth. So you can look forward to these roundtable readings going on now. And in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to have Gerald and Anna on with me. And today, I would like to introduce Mysti Dawn, who I have had the pleasure of working with for pretty much a year. She's been taking classes with me and been studying the tarot long before that. But I want to welcome Mysti, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Sadhana. Thanks for having me. And hello, everyone.
It's been really fun to have you here, and I want to say that I've seen such a I don't know if awakening is the right word, but when Mysti first came to my classes, she was so quiet, and it's really beautiful to see her unfolding, building confidence as a tarot reader, and joining in discussions. And so I'm really looking forward to this today. So thank you all for joining in. And also, I see that some of you have joined Integrative Healing with Sadhana. So it's really amazing, beautiful. Thank you so much. And I am going to come on after this, a little bit later this afternoon, and talk about membership and what's going to happen with the different levels of membership. In the meantime, you can see that in the description of the memberships, but it's the second level that is going to get all the bonus videos and the extra kind of tarot tutorials and so forth. So I'll be back on later this afternoon to talk about that. So thank you to Clara. Clara is a new member, as well as Ijeoma. Thank you. And Mary Beth, I really appreciate your support for joining my channel. So thank you. And Shannon is here this morning. Welcome to Shannon. So both Mary Beth and Shannon are in the Tarot Foundation's 2021 class with Mysti. And it's great that you are here supporting your fellow classmate, as well as Karen Kay. She is here. She's in the class as well too. So good morning to Karen. And Dee, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Dancing Soul Sister, Hannah, lovely to have you here. And Rachel, she's part of our class as well too. Lily Valley is Lydianne. So welcome to Lydianne. And Gerald. Wonderful to have you here. And Gerald knows Mysti. They were in, I believe, Read With Me 1 or Read With Me 2 last year. So it's great to have that.
Gerald.
And Joel's been such a great supporter of my channel. So it's great to have you all here this morning. So welcome, everybody. And another thing I want to say, too, is that when I am doing live readings, I really appreciate the support for whoever's asking the question in the chat. A lot of times you will see different interpretations. You will pick up on something that neither Mysti or I are picking up on. And it's... I don't know, it's really lovely, especially if it's a difficult question, whether you are expressing compassion, empathy, or you're actually helping to interpret the reading from a different set of eyes. It's amazing, and I really love this. So thank you all for that as well too. Good morning to Helen, and Elizabeth is here as well too. Elizabeth, Valerio, and Helen. So thank you so much. So Mysti, before we get started, tell me a little bit about your journey with tarot and where it all began.
So my journey with tarot began a couple of years ago. I was looking on Book Outlet for books, and I saw a book called Beginner's Tarot. And then when I got the book, I was surprised that it was actually a tarot deck with a companion guide. So that was how I got started. But I've always been interested in the tarot. When I was younger, I would stay up late and watch the Psychic channel where we do tarot readings. And I remember she said that you can't get a tarot deck unless it's gifted to you. And I believe that. So I've never got a tarot deck. I never told anybody that I wanted a tarot deck. So it was a nice surprise to.
Sorry, you cut out for a little bit there. I missed that. So you did buy your first deck, or somebody gifted you your first deck?
No, I did buy my gift tarot deck, so I guess it was a gift to myself. But I didn't know it was a deck. I thought it was a book that I was buying. So
okay. And what was the first deck that you purchased?
it was Beginner's Tarot by Shannon Burke, I think.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one. So how large is your collection?
I would say it's small. I feel like I can't get other tarot decks until I've mastered the the beginner tarot ones and learn that system first before getting anything else. But I'd say I have maybe 6 or 7 tarot decks.
Yeah, I think that's kind of important. I think when we start entering into the consumer tarot collection, and a lot of people collect it just for the art. Some people just love shopping, but your approach, I strongly think it's a really good way to go, to really work your decks, to use your decks. I remember when I was starting out with tarot, I had 2 decks. Actually, the first package I bought was that kit. I think it's called the Complete Tarot. I'm not sure. It comes with a small version of the Thoth as well as a small version of the RWS with the plaid backs. And at that time, I had a good look through the guidebook, and I decided I was going to work with the RWS. And so I started working with that, and I really didn't like the images. And at that time I was living in Vancouver. So there was a very, very large metaphysical bookshop, and I went there and I found the Robin Wood. And that's the deck that I really dove into. And I think I worked with the Robin Wood for 2 or 3 years before I purchased another deck. And then it was Osho Zen, and Osho Zen was for 2 or 3 years. So this whole collecting and amassing many, many decks is something that for me happened a lot later. Yeah. So which deck are you going to work with today?
I'm going to be working with the Light Seers Tarot by Chrysanne.
Okay.
I like this deck because it's good for beginners, which I am, and I like it's easy to read, and it's the colors I like as well.
Which do you have the mass market version?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't get in on the indie version of that either. So I see there's a few more people coming in. I want to say hi to Papu Das. So welcome. Thank you for the subscribe. So Papu Das, you can put your question into the chat and we will get to you. Also, for those of you that are new to my channel, please know that appreciate you posting your questions just once. And once in a while, I'm going to say for the most part, questions will be answered in order, but that's not always the case. So thank you very much for your patience. And please also know today that I'm broadcasting as well on Facebook, on my page on Facebook. So there, if you hear me talking to some people and you're on YouTube, sometimes that can get confusing if you don't see their name in the chat. So I'll be doing this in order as best as possible. Okay, so where are we at? I did see our first question. I believe it was Clara. Clara. So let's go to this. And I haven't chosen a deck yet for today, but I'm going to read the question and see where we're at this. You have met somebody recently and would like to know what the purpose of this connection is and what I'm supposed to learn from it. His name is Michael. Okay, so Michael and Clara. All right, well, I'm going to go to this very pretty, lovely deck that I have here called the Lily White Tarot. So let's hold light and space for Clara around this new relationship. And allow me to be a vessel for your words of wisdom, for the teaching of the ancestors, the ascended masters. As always, we ask these readings being the highest for the greatest good and that no harm be done. So be it. So I'll be pulling 3 cards, and Mysti may do the same. We'll also be I'll be summarizing the readings as well to highlight the threads that run through both of the readings. Okay, so we do have a jumper card, which is the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. All right, this is really interesting, Clara. I'm going to add the card cam so you can see the cards that I'm working with today. And I'll zoom in just a little bit here so you can see. This, Clara, this is the Hermit card. The jumper card was the 9 of Pentacles. So very feminine cards. And the thing that strikes me here with the femininity of these 2 cards is that this relationship may just be that, about you exploring and really getting in touch with your femininity. I know in a lot of relationships, it's really easy, or I say it's challenging for the woman or one of the partners, right? Because we don't all, for one of the partners to let go enough to allow the more, it's so hard to get the language around masculine and feminine these days, but I feel like this relationship is about you leaning into your softness, leaning into your femininity. And so in this Hermit card in the Lily White Tarot, you see the woman in the womb of the tree. And if I want to read this intuitively, I really feel like that is where you will grow. You will grow and you will blossom like the flowers and the trees and the wealth and the richness of the 9 of Pentacles by leaning into your femininity. I'm going to pull one more card. Okay, we have a page. This is the page of air. And the beauty of this card has to do with the, there's a naivety here with all of the pages. And an innocence. And I just, your question is really interesting. So what are you supposed to learn from this? I feel like the purpose of the connection is for you to connect to maybe an earlier version of yourself. The Page of Swords is very curious about their voice. They're very curious about so communication is going to be an important part of this as well too. Yeah. So Mysti, what's your first card?
My first card was the 6 of Pentacles.
6 of Pentacles.
So another
okay.
Pentacle card of Earth energy. And then I also pulled the 3 of Pentacles and the Tower. So we
So
have
Pentacles,
two,
Pentacles, Power.
yeah, 2 pentacles, and we have the 3, and then like the double with the 6, their connection with the 3s. So they're with the 6 of Pentacles, I kind of see that this relationship connection is something that is both give and take, a mutual give and take in the relationship would be important, and working together to build the relationship. With the Pentacles and being grounded will be very practical. But we do have this Tower card here, which will shake things up in the relationship. Maybe it might be more, have a lot of meaning in your life. This connection with Michael will come in and transform you in a way. We have these butterflies in the Tower and enlightenment in your with your connection.
Is that a squirrel down on the bottom in that card? Okay.
Yes, it's a squirrel.
Okay. So with the 3 and the 6, so you have the 3, the 6, and the 9 of Pentacles in between these two cards. The 3, the 6, and the 9 of Pentacles, which are, the 3s are a very magical number. They are a number of expansion, and I find this really interesting that the womb is here featured in the Hermit card. And the 3 and the 6 and the 9, if we look at those around growth and connection with your femininity and your womb itself, maybe this is the man, you know, that you will have children with. There's a real kind of divinity to 3, 6, and 9 of Pentacles. You know, I'm not one to do predictions, but this could be 3 babies. This could be, you know, serious growth in this relationship. Okay, so it feels based in solidity when we have the 3, the 6, and the 9 of Pentacles. The Pentacles connected to the level of the earth. So yeah, it feels really, really, really good. And we also have another child here as well too, the Tower card. So let's look at the Tower and what this means. That the relationship will give you a completely different perspective of life as you know it for the greater good. And this might mean having to let go of previous expectations, right? When the walls of the Tower come down, it leaves us a little bit naked and vulnerable. And that also really speaks to the naked and the vulnerableness that we see in the Hermit card and the Lily White Tarot. So yeah, so I hope that gives you some food for thought, and feels like a really interesting relationship to explore. So thank you for your question today, Clara. All right. And Tina's here as well too. Welcome to Tina. She's part of our Tarot Foundations class. For those of you that are interested in joining the 2022 class is open. There are already people that have registered, so you can sign up for that. Down below in the description box is the link to my the website. All right, let's go to Bruna. I would like advice for improving my love life. Okay. Mysti, do you want to go ahead and start to draw some cards for Bruna?
Sure. Bruno. It's Bruno, right?
Bruna. I think Bruna.
Bruna, sorry. Would like advice for improving love life. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups and Tower again, and 13 Death Rebirth.
Wow.
So advice for
Big reading.
improving your love life. Yes. Seems very transformational experience that you'll have to go through to improve your love life. With the Five of Cups, oopsie. Seems like this card, you might need to be emotionally let go of some things, or not focusing on some aspect of love, maybe like a past relationship, or looking on something negative where you have the opportunity behind you that you're not seeing in love. There might be some focus on maybe self-love first to really transform and be accepting of a new relationship coming in, if that's what you're looking for, or like improving your current relationship. And so with the Tower again, there's a sense of needing to break down the current structure in order to improve love life. So you're going to have to really maybe start from the ground up. But it'll be a good experience because even though it might seem difficult at first, but we really can grow from it. And again, with the Death card, there's changes that need to happen in order for the love that you want to come in or to have. And it will be a very transformative experience. And yes, so I hope that helps.
Beautiful, Mysti. I also have two major arcanas. So it feels like, Bruna, that the major arcanas are the significant timestamps in the tarot, significant milestones. I have the 2 and the 9, and I'll show you those cards in just a minute. So what this in itself means to me is that this is a point in your life for a complete reset. Pulling both the Tower and the Death card gives you an opportunity to, and that Five of Cups cards, which was the first card that came up, is one of completely letting go of the past. So there is this aspect of maybe there's old diaries, old love letters, maybe there's a ring or some jewelry or something from an old relationship. Maybe there are expectations. So this is an opportunity for you to really envision something bright and beautiful in a completely new way. You know, letting go of any sense of falseness or expectations from previous relationships or family or so forth. So the two majors that I pulled are the High Priestess, which was first. And again, I've got the Hermit. So Mysti and I are both pulling repeat cards. Again, and these are very feminine cards. And so this may be a theme that's going to come through from my side today. And that is one of tapping into your softer side, tapping into your intuition, things that really connect you to the goddess, to the divine feminine, are going to be part of the healing journey. They're going to help you process the reset. So what does this mean? This means that maybe you're going to take some time for yourself, take a meditation course. Maybe you're going to dive into some kind of a self-help or self-healing workshop every Saturday over the next few months. You know, this is time for you to heal and to nourish. And so pulling Tower, Death, High Priestess, Hermit, this is big. And so this is about your personal transformation. This is about you taking time for yourself. Okay, taking time to heal, taking time for just you, and recognizing that in order to be the kind of person that you probably want to be in a relationship. And are you in a relationship right now, or are you outside of a relationship? Are you between relationships? Let us know that as well too. So to be the best version of yourself, it looks like there's some healing work to do. And the third card that I drew is the Six of Cups. And so in this deck, we're looking at nesting bowls. So this refers to the weaving of life, the weaving of emotions. And I want to tie together Mysti's Five of Cups to the Six of Cups card. So when we see cards in sequence, there's an energy of moving forward. And so when I see these two cards come up, it's like by letting go of things, emotions, expectations, there will be more. With the Six of Cups, we really move into the heart space. We move into a place of harmony. This is the heart chakra. This is the center of the tree of life. This is the place of beautiful interconnected feelings. Okay, so the letting go aspect of this reading is really, really important. Okay, so we wish you lots of love and space and time for yourself as you move through these next months, maybe even the next year. Okay, big cards. So do take time for you. You are the most important person in your life. Thank you, Bruna. All righty. Big cards. And Joel, thank you so much for joining Integrative Healing with Sadhana. I really appreciate that. And if you weren't here right at the beginning, I will be coming back on later this afternoon to talk about memberships. So Papu Das is worried about job. Papu, what is your pronoun, please? He, they, she. And the material interruptions that's preventing you from getting a job. You're worried about the job and the material interruptions that are preventing you from getting a job. Okay, so we're going to focus on perhaps the Suit of Pentacles will give us lots of information. Yeah. All right. Papa does take a big breath in and out. Oh, Bruna, I'm glad that makes sense. Okay, good. Just waiting for a little more information from Papu Das. All right. I am going to go to a deck I haven't used in ages. Mysti, are you ready to go? I'm going to shuffle the 5-cent tarot for this question.
Okay, so I pulled the Eight of Swords first, and then the Emperor, and the Nine of Cups. So with the Eight of Swords, I kind of see this as being restricting yourself, maybe from moving forward and getting your job. Maybe the Swords is a mental suit of representing air, and so maybe you just might be in your head, and that is preventing you from getting a job. I'm not sure what the material interruptions would be, but this card would indicate like mental self moving forward. And then with the Emperor, this card is about control. It's the Aries, it's very fiery. So there's a sense of maybe you need to be more active and take control in order to move past these interruptions and getting the job. And with the Nine of Cups, looks positive about you getting a being after you've been able to move through these self-restrictions and maybe being active and taking control of the situation, that you would be successful in getting your job. Yes, that's what I see in the cards for you, Papa.
Thanks, Misty. I'm just, Amber looks like she's ready to pounce on something. My dog is right here. Hopefully she will let me do this reading. So, Misty, what was the first card before the Emperor?
The Eight of Swords.
Eight of Swords, Emperor. Sorry, say that again, please. Eight of Swords, Emperor, and
Nine of Cups.
Okay, and Nine of Cups. Okay, so what I was thinking before I got distracted by my dog was that perhaps you need to get clearer on the kind of job that you want. So with that Emperor card there, there's a sense of taking control, reclaiming your power. And I'm wondering if somebody has told you that you can't progress, or the block itself has come externally and you have, there's been some kind of self-doubt here. So this card is indicating that you can move through this, that this restriction around you is one of, it's a mental challenge. It can come through also your, like those words of self-deprecation, thinking, the self-doubt kind of thing. The Nine of Cups is such a beautiful card. And so I would say to feel your way into this as well too, to what kind of a job would make you feel fulfilled. The Nine of Cups is very much about fulfillment. Okay. So I'm going to specifically, I want to understand the blocks a little more clearly, because I don't feel like we got to the crux of that matter. Sorry, I just want to make sure I've got these cards going the right way. Okay. So the first card is the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Needles. This is, so the clarity, so I think I'm kind of on the right track here. The clarity is really important. So what I would do if I were you is to actually, you can do that as a computer. To get out a pen actually is a really good thing to do, to write this out by hand with intention. What does the job look like? What does the place of work look like? It feels like you haven't owned what it is that you want to do. You haven't declared it. The Queen of Swords is clear, crystal clear about this. And maybe it's your voice that isn't clear. Maybe you are hesitating or waffling or not letting your strength show through. The Queen of Swords and the element of water, I want to speak to the emotions as well too. So we have the Queen of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so what does this, what does the perfect job feel like? And I'm also wondering too, if there's emotions around previous jobs that haven't been processed. Have people made, I hate this kind of language, have people made you feel bad? Have you allowed yourself to feel less than by others? So what is under all this feels like your self-esteem, your confidence. So working on your confidence, getting out of the head. And maybe this is about going, practicing the next interview with your partner or your friends, building your strength, making lists of all your strengths. Maybe this is about going in a completely different direction. This feels, the Queen of Swords is extremely clear about what she wants and what her intention is. And the King of Cups is, all of the kings are leaders. They have a strength to them, but the King of Cups has an emotional intelligence. And the Ace of Cups is an opportunity to feel this in a new way. So what is it that you really, really want? And allow yourself to perhaps apply for something that is what feels good for you, not necessarily what you're supposed to do. Right? You need to lead from your emotional and mental perspective, not from the expectations of others. Okay, I'm going to just have a quick peek at the chat to see if you have said anything. I don't think you have come back. Papudas, will you get a job in the next 30 days and be? No, sorry. This is you as well. So this advice from Mysti and me, I can't answer if you're going to get this job in the next 30 days, but this is about you taking action, not blaming other people, you taking charge and getting clear about the job that feels right for you. So maybe this is about going into something that is a little bit different. Okay. There's a lot of power here. So perhaps you're shooting too low. We have a queen, we have a king, and we have an emperor. So this is about taking charge. This is about taking a higher level job as well too. So I would say yes. I would say this is a big yes. There's a lot of power and a lot of strength in all 6 of these cards. Okay. I hope that gives you some incentive to move forward with this. Thank you. Okay. We're going to move on to Katie. And Katie wants to know about love. Not love. I would love to know what my spiritual gifts might be, or I can become more open to receiving messages from spirit. Of course you can, is the answer. We all can. It's a practice. So Mysti, why don't we focus on the path to discovering the spiritual gifts? So as you're shuffling, focus on the path to understanding spirituality, that kind of intention. Do you know what I mean? You're muted.
Yes, spiritual path instead of.
And of course, if you're picking up on specific spiritual gifts, go ahead and speak to that as well too.
Okay.
Because this is what happens when we have a double question. Sometimes it's hard to get clear about the way to speak to this. So the first question is, what are my spiritual gifts? And the second question is, can I be more open to receiving messages? So these are two different readings, but we can pick up on both of these things. Okay. So go for it, Misty.
So the first card is the Nine of Cups, and then the Seven of Cups, and then we have the Four of Swords. So I would say that your path to spiritual open is something to do with the Cups card of being emotionally opening to receiving these gifts, or being open to taking the spiritual path. There might be some emotions that need to be released first in order for your gifts to show themselves to you. And yeah, with like the Seven of Cups, it feels like there's too many options. You're unsure of which direction to go in spiritually, perhaps. And there's a sense of, with the Four of Swords, of needing to take a pause and be open to receiving any messages in regards to your spiritual path. And then with the Nine of Cups, there is a sense that you will be fulfilled emotionally, spiritually, aligned in your life.
So you have Nine of Cups, Seven of Cups, and
Four of Swords.
Show me the Four of Swords in that deck. Okay. That reminds me a little bit of the Four of Swords in the textured tarot. There's a real healing energy to that. Okay, so Misty, if you were looking at those three cards, if you were to intuit clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, what do you feel? Which gift is shining through, just based on those three cards?
Based on these cards, I would get more like, I'm not sure the clairs, but something to do with the feelings.
Mm-hmm. So clairsentience speaks to those chills that we get when we know something is right. It's about trusting the hairs that stand up on the skin, or the wave of heat through the body, or the maybe there's a specific part of the body that lights up. So when I'm doing readings, sometimes I will feel my belly, or I'll feel my throat. And these are intuitive, empathic hits that help me speak to the issue at hand. So with Misty's cards, there's a real there's a feeling of that. And I know you said there was a comment later on that you would love to work on your clairaudience. And so I will let me have a look at that as well too. So the path, how can I become more open to receiving messages? So I'm going to say from the cards that Misty drew is to tap into your feelings, but also look at that Four of Swords card. What does that tell you, Katie? What does that tell you? So it may be could be in times of meditation, could be in times of sleep. But when we give ourselves space to rest, space away from the noise, that's when the messages can come through a lot clearer. Okay, so make sure that you give yourself that quiet time to help develop all of this. It's always your hands. Yes, and yoga is very, very powerful. And so one of the things that I would do is to when you are in Shavasana, so as you're coming out of Shavasana, to really pay attention to the physical sensations that are moving through the body. And so always make sure that you ask a question as well too. Sometimes we forget to ask questions. Okay, so how can we gain clarity around this for Katie? Ooh, so I have a big yes card here, Katie, that for sure this can be amplified. The High Priestess card would say that, yeah, the more you practice with this, the more you trust these sensations, the more that you will trust them. So you talked about your hands further down in the chat. So hands are connected to the heart, and heart is connected to the feelings. So in the teachings of yoga, the skin is a very, very important receptor for the heart space. And so I feel like clairsentience is going to be the gift that you definitely will be working with. So this is the 6 of Wands. Ooh, 5 and 6 of Wands. Okay. So 5 and 6 of Wands are, I'm going to say they are in conflict with the High Priestess. The 5 of Wands, however, is a highly transformational energy. And in yoga, this refers to tapas. Tapas, are you familiar with that Sanskrit term? So tapas is discipline. It's about burning through the karmas. And so this would speak to like if I put these cards in a kind of an order here, to focusing on some kind of like, I don't know, a 30-day challenge to work through a new breath practice, to work through a new asana practice or something like that. Tapas is fire, right? Tapas is, it's like doing a 30-day challenge for yourself, for moving through something, burning through karmas. And then that 6 of Wands, the butterfly, we see the transformation. Okay, so there's a bit of a process here, but it feels like a big yes. So doing the work, doing the practices is really important. Okay, so thank you. That was a great question. All right. So Lydianne, thank you for helping out with the name order. I think we're on Elizabeth next. Okay, and Donna's here. Hello to Donna. Let me just go through the chat and see. And Awan, hello, welcome. Doll, hello. Novella, hello to Novella and Vikrant. Okay, I'm just scrolling back up to Elizabeth. Where are we at? Okay. Elizabeth asks, if we have time, I have a question. Lots of organizational changes at work and promotions. New bosses, wondering what to expect in terms of the next few weeks. Okay, so focusing on the workspace, Mysti, focusing on the energy of the workspace. Do the cards look like status quo? Do they look like cards of change? What kind of change? That's kind of what we're speaking to here.
Okay, so I pulled the Queen of Swords and the Page of Wands and the Fool. So the Fool would definitely speak to changes and at the workplace, as your experience, as you said. And we have 2 court cards, the Swords and Wands energy. So there's a sense of the court cards are people in our life or aspects of self. So we have the Queen of Swords, who is someone who is very intelligent, has a lot of knowledge, and she can come up as a little bit cold, but she's comfortable with herself and confident. And then with the Page of Wands, she is someone who is very joyful, and with the pages, there is a sense of learning. So there might be some new learning that needs to be done with all these organizational and new bosses. So this could represent one of the new bosses coming in, might have a Queen of Swords energy, who's going to have these aspects of lots of knowledge and maybe ideas for the way the organization is going to go on. And with the Fool, there's a sense of new beginnings here. And with the new bosses, it is like a positive change I see with the Fool. It's not as like transfer with the Death, but it's not as drastic. It might be these organizational changes might be fairly easy.
Okay, so with two court cards coming up in the workplace, Elizabeth, it feels like the influence to pay attention to the relationships as well in the office. It's lovely to have the Page of Wands and the Fool card come up. It feels like a breath of fresh air coming into the office. And then I love that Queen of Swords energy, because she is like, she can see the big picture. So I don't feel like anything's going to be overlooked. Like the overseer of the office has got things well in hand. So it feels very, very positive to me. I'm going to pull a couple cards for you as well too. And Hope, I see Hope in the chat. Can you just type your question into the chat, and if we have time, we will get to you. And Tina, thank you so much. Tina says, you are doing so fine. Tina is part of our Tarot Foundations class. Okay, so yeah. Four of Wands. So Four of Wands feels, again, very, you know, I use this gaming language sometimes when I'm doing readings, but, you know, and I love this Four of Wands. You know, you're building a new foundation. You're building something stronger. Something is being created. If there's new players being invited into the office, it feels very positive. And focused as well too. I feel a sense of focus, especially with that Queen of Swords energy. Ooh, we have more fiery energy. So I would encourage the younger people in the office, or the people in the office who are a little more outgoing, the ones that tend to, I don't know, like the ones who are offering ideas that might seem a little bit out there, to allow the more lively people to thrive. It feels like that fiery energy of the Page of Wands and the Son of Wands needs to shine at this time, and it will help to support everything. Everything. My other camera has frozen. So the third card is the World card. And it feels like everything is going to come full circle. This will be really beautiful, like nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. So yeah, so lean into the relationships, and that's a lot of fire. So I want to say observe the people in the office with the fiery qualities. It feels like they've got something special to offer. Okay. Thanks, Elizabeth. Alrighty, so I'm going to, I believe the next question is Sunbla Gafoor. Okay, can I ask if I will be able to move out from my family to a new place? Okay, so with the tarot, what we're looking at with this kind of a question is cards of movement. We're looking for cards, perhaps, Six of Swords, Eight of Cups. We're looking for Knights. We're looking for the Fool or Pages, opportunities to move forward, as opposed to cards that are static and still, right? So this is kind of the way that the tarot would answer this sort of question. So, and I'm assuming that you want to move out. Will I be able to move out from my family to a new place? Okay. All right. So are you good with that question, Mysti?
Yes. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, King of Swords, and the Page of Swords. So we have two court cards again, and then they're both in the same suit of the swords. And we are seeing that page, so that what Sadhana was talking about, wanting to see show up for change or movement. And she is moving across one cliff to the other. She's making that movement. And with the Seven of Pentacles, I see that an opportunity for being able to move out, that you do, there is like these resources here for you that are available to you, and you'll have to maybe do some more work in order to get this move, maybe like materially, and able to focus on that material and able to help you to get to move. And with the King of Swords, there's a sense of needing this freedom, that you need freedom from your family to be able to take the next step in your life, a more mature step with the King of Swords.
Oh, okay. I love doing this. So the first card is the 10. So a lot of this is the 10 of Cups. A lot of energy in this card. And it feels a bit like a celebration. And I wonder if you will be moving in with friends or something like that. Let me just see what I need to do. The whole Emperor and the Mother of Pentacles. Okay. On one hand, you said you want to move out, but your family don't want this for you. So there's a controlling aspect to that King of Swords, and there is a controlling aspect to the Emperor that's showing up here as well too. There's also this nurturing mother energy that's hovering. But the thing that I want to say to you, Sunbla, is that these qualities that your parents possess are qualities that you can take with you out to the world. They're qualities that will give you strength as you move, right? As you move out into life. That 10 of Cups energy feels so. I'm feeling torn between a yes and a no answer. And so what I want to say here is to take what your family has given you and to celebrate it. And to know that their love and their control of you and their wanting to protect you isn't necessarily a bad thing. Right? It's a gift, and it's a strength of family. But you possess those qualities yourself, and you can take those out into the world, and you can stand tall like the emperor, like the tree that's represented here in the emperor. And you can go out in the world and be on your own and feel strong in that. Okay? And that lovely page of wands, hold up the page of wands again, Mysti, is such a card of inspiration. So it's like, this is like a message of, yes, go forth and know that you have the skills to succeed.
It was actually
But
a page
also,
of swords.
it's a page of swords. Okay, page of swords. Page of swords and king of swords. Okay, so the other aspect here, because we have 2 court sword cards, I feel the need to like be confident with expressing clearly to your family why you need the space. Right? Because that is an important part of perhaps of them letting you go. It's not just about, I need my own space. Why do you need that own space? So find your voice around that. And that's part of you building your strength and your confidence as well too. Okay? All righty, where are we here? Hope. I believe we're at hope. Good. Okay, Soonbless says, I understand. All right, excellent. And Donna was talking about that. So this 10 of Cups. Donna says that 10 of Cups looks like a representation of the family. You know, it looks like a lot of feelings, a lot of love, a lot of joy, and there is so much strength and nurturing. So take that for sure. Take that with you. Okay. Let's go to hope. May I have a reading, please? Will I see progress in my health by this year? Okay, so the first thing, hope, is that we are not medical practitioners. We are here to support you on your healing journey for sure. And so how the tarot supports this kind of question is by shining light on where you would benefit from focusing at this time. So sometimes we can get element information, chakra information, things like that. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to stick with the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's got lots of great chakra information. And I'm also going to pull if I have it here, yes, I do. I'm going to pull a Soul Trees card for you, and maybe I'll do that first. So let's hold some love and light around hope. Amber, lie down. Lie down. Amber, lie down. It's very hard on the weekend. So many people walking by and enjoying the, okay. Okay, soul card. Ooh, that was a beautiful magnetic cut. Oh, this is a gorgeous card. Hope. I'm going to do this. Okay. So this card, I don't know if you can see the words, is heal heart and spirit. So I'm going to speak to this card, and let's do this. Okay. So we're looking at I'm looking at the intersection of the green and the purple energy. And one of the focuses for me in this kind of a reading is the how. And I want to say with the green energy to lean into the heart space. What does this mean? This means that gratitude, compassion, self-care, self-love are really important. And so in healing the heart space, we want to be focusing on breathing and breath, perhaps walking and, using the lungs and exercising the heart on a more physical level. But the mood of gratitude, the mood of compassion, self-care, self-love is an important part of the healing at this time. Okay. Alrighty, and I'm going to pull two tarot cards. Again, a really beautiful, solid cut here. Okay, so look at the energy of the Six of Cups card. The foundation. To me, this feels like healing issues with the family. Healing issues with the family may be at the root of the ache in your heart. And the way that I come about this is through chakras and through various associations and so forth. So to take the time and the energy to heal family relationships or deeply rooted relationships feels really important here. Okay. This is the Eight of Swords. And the way that this is drawn, this feels like an opportunity to blossom into something quite beautiful. Butterflies are a sign of transformation. The one thing about this particular card, though, is that you are trapped by the symbols of the swords. And the symbols of the swords do represent the mind and the thought and so forth. And so to be really mindful of the power of the thought, to observe your thoughts. This might be a really good time to amp up the journaling, the letter writing, and so forth. Yeah. Okay, so I want to see what Mysti has to say here. What cards did you pull, Mysti?
I pulled the Three of Pentacles,
Ah.
the Magician, and the Ace of Wands. So we have two wands in this reading, and with the wands, there's this potential. So there is a potential here for progress. We have the fire energy, and I always get mixed up with the cards. The fire energy. So this might be taking an active approach to your health, and same with the Magician is also very active energy, and he's very capable in his skills to manifest things in his life. So there might be a sense of mindset shift that needs to happen to see this health progress. So yeah, shifting your mindset, being active. There might be something to do with the fire energy. And we have the Three of Pentacles. So maybe working with somebody on your health journey might be important to you at this time. And being grounded. So there's a sense of needing to be grounded and having the fire combination of the fire energy as well. So, and when I think of fire, I think of like the red, which is the root chakra. So maybe there might be something with the grounding in the root chakra that needs to be healed.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay,
What do you?
so,
I was going to say, what do you see in these cards?
No, what do I see? It's interesting that you said that. You see the fire energy connected to the color. You see the color red. You're seeing the color red, and the color red is connected to the root chakra. That makes total sense. Taking an active energy. There's also an aspect of, with the fire, the solar plexus energy as well too. And this might have something to do with this Eight of Swords, because if you are feeling confined by your thoughts, perhaps this is a self-esteem issue as well too. So taking charge, that Ace of Wands is inviting you to take charge of your health. So that means maybe doing a little more research, pulling in a new practitioner, somebody that you haven't worked with before on your team and so forth. Yeah. So lots of food for thought here. Thank you very much, Hope. All right. So we are well past the hour. I've got an hour and 11 minutes, an hour and 12 minutes. And Mysti, are you okay for one more question?
Yes. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
For one more
Okay.
question.
So I'm just going to scroll through and we will choose one more question. I'm just going to go to Stanley Jamie. You are from Newcastle. Welcome from Newcastle. Any changes to my love life? Last partner has gone, come back, and gone again. Okay. So we'll explore this question. And Pradeep and Ragni, Vikrant, everyone else who is in the chat, I want to invite you to come back on Tuesday. Tuesday, I do live readings, and that is at 12 noon Pacific. And then I'll be back on Saturday in 2 weeks. So you have a couple of opportunities to post your questions again. But this will be the final question for today for Stanley Jamie. And yeah, would you like to go first, Mysti?
Yes, so I pulled the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. So we have two Swords cards showing up and the Pentacles. So any changes to my love life? So the Knight of Pentacles, it might be slow to changes. The Pentacles are very slow moving suit. They're connected to the earth energy. So if there might be slow to changes. Swords cards, we have these kind of two challenging sword suits. And this kind of, the Seven of Swords does kind of speak to me in last relationship, and I can even see this like him, they coming back again, perhaps. And with the Eight of Swords, again, there's this like restriction. There's no movement in this card as well. So I don't really see a lot of movement. There's, except for in the Seven of Swords, of maybe some energy coming back. And there might be something with your thoughts that is again, restricting you for moving forward. You haven't quite let go of this last partner coming in, but there's, with the Knight of Pentacles, wanting something more stable instead of this back and forth relationship in the past.
Thank you, Misty. It feels as well too, with the energy of the 7 and the 8 of Swords, that completely letting the partner go is an important part of this. There is some underlying energy with that 7 of Swords cards that would suggest this is in your highest interest. And as Misty said, with that 8 of Swords, it feels you may have some doubt around that. And so in order to move and progress through the Suit of Swords, it's important that you keep progressing, right? And so to not let him come back again. Your initial him, her come back again. They let them come back again. Pronouns are so hard when you're doing this. I don't know which gender to speak to here. Any changes to my love life? Okay, so the first answer is to, yes, let the partner go, and to know that this progress feels, so on one hand, you have cards of progress. You have a 7 and you have an 8, but also you have that Knight of Pentacles there, which feels, I mean, I love that card. It's a slow and steady and reliable card. So perhaps that energy of reliability is slowly making its way towards you. Let me expand on Misty's cards here. And lots of lovely support from your classmates, Misty. I don't know if you've scrolled down to the bottom. Rachel says, amazing readings, Misty. I really enjoy your interpretations. You are so inspiring. And Tina and Karen are chiming in there as well, too. Okay. All right, so let's expand on this. Ooh, this is a nice card. Okay. When you are in this place of coming and going and coming and going and a lot of unknown, it's important that you don't shut down, right? It's important that you don't shut down, that you continue to allow the emotions to move and feel. And pulling this 3 of Cups as the first card, I want to encourage you to get together with your friends, to get together with your siblings or your neighbors, and to enjoy life, to find some joy, to find what makes you happy. Maybe this is some kind of an outdoor activity. Maybe this is just going to the pub. Whatever this is that makes you feel good, and to enjoy life and to enjoy being with other people, right? This is about living, living in joy and living life. Another Cup card. So what I was saying about the 7, 8 of Swords, this is the 8 of Cups. And this is about completely releasing the previous partner from your life and creating a boundary and not letting them come back again, right? Not letting them, so that you can move forward, so that you can be happy again, so that you can step into the next space where you want to go. Okay. Now the third card, another 3. So this is the 3 of Swords. So we've got lots of emotion here. And with all of this emotion on the table, I want to say, you know, I'm expressing my compassion for you. Like, this feels like you're going through something that's really challenging. And I want to express my support for that. But the underlying, one of the most important things here is to not race through. And Mysti was saying about she's not seeing progress. It's important to not race through to the next partner. It's important to learn the lessons of this relationship, to allow yourself to feel everything that you need to feel, to understand the qualities of the past relationship that you embrace, and the qualities that you no longer want to embrace ever in the future again. So the 3 of Swords is going to cut into the truth and the heart of the matter. And it feels like this life lesson for you, Stanley, is it's really important that you take time to pause. And that the more time that you take to pause and reflect on this, the better things will be on the other side. Okay. All right. I'm going to go skip down through. Oh, Anne is here. I didn't say hello to Anne, so welcome. And S, hello, you are new to the channel. I believe I said hi to Novella. Welcome. And just going to scroll on down. And Awan, hello. Hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday or 2 Saturdays from now. And that's a lovely comment from Mary Beth. So yeah, Misty's done a great job here today. I really like how you've been interpreting the cards. Welcome to Joe's Mystics. Thank you so much for being here today. Alrighty, I think I'm down at the bottom. There we go. So thank you so much for all of your support today. Thank you for posting your questions, and we look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time, or Tuesday at 12 o'clock Pacific on my channel. So make sure that you subscribe, and if you hit the notifications button, you'll know when I'm going live next. And thank you so much to Mysti. Thank you for being here and sharing your energy.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything else that you would like to share and let everyone know? Are you doing public readings at all?
No, I'm not yet.
Okay.
Maybe one day.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so goodbye and thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Mysti, you stick around for a few minutes. Namaste and take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.